I talk a lot about Bible translations, and so naturally the algorithm gives me content from other people talking about Bible translations. And I'm honestly surprised by how many people are out there talking about this topic when they really don't fully understand it. For example, check out this clip.
But a word-for-word translation is the scholar gives us the exact word that they're translating into English text. And so now there's not much room for error. But if you go thought for thought, now the scholar is giving us his thought of what that phrase, that word means, instead of giving us the actual word transliterated or translated into our English language.
Some of what Cowboy Jeff just said is true, but not everything. For example, when he says that a word-for-word translation is the exact word from Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek rendered exactly one for one into English, that's simply not true. If you read a Bible like that, it would be very difficult for you to understand. A, because ancient languages don't have a one-to-one word in English for many of the words or the phrases that they use. Also, the syntax, the word order is out of whack. So if it was a true word-for-word transliteration, it would be very difficult for you to read. So there's a little bit of translation that's going on when you're doing a word-for-word translation. And then number two, he talks about thought-for-thought translations being the translators giving you their thought about what the Bible says, and that it's their interpretation. That's not what thought-for-thought means. A thought-for-thought translation is the team of translators looking at the original words in Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek and trying to capture the thought behind them in modern English so that it's easy for people to read and understand. Just some subtle differences between what he's saying and what is actually true about Bible translations. And when you understand the differences, it does matter. He goes on in that video to say, this is why you should only read word-for-word translations, because you're not getting an interpretation and you're getting exactly what the original says. But that's not true. And I actually disagree with that. I think it's good that we have word-for-word translations and thought-for-thought translations. Those slight differences allow us to understand and study the text in unique ways. So be careful when you're watching these videos out there. Look me up. Somebody like me, right? I wrote a book called Bible Translations for Everyone. It's all about Bible translations, and you can go check me. You can check my facts. You can read what I'm writing about this. I talk about these topics in the video. But be careful out there when you're just watching random videos, because sometimes people know what they're talking about, and sometimes they don't.